All right, and we are live. Welcome everybody to another fantastic episode of This Week in Reselling. We have a great episode for you guys today. I am here with Wes with Poppin' Off Toys. Wes, now just a little bit about Wes. We met on TikTok. We've been, collaborating and stuff like that. I've been seeing and stuff on here. He's been part of the Nashville Funko Pop community for a while now, on Facebook pages and all that good stuff. So, Wes, for the people that may not know you or what you do, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first off, thank you so much for having me on. Love doing things like this. And thank you for helping me get to the threshold on my personal TikTok so I can go live. That meant a lot.
Yeah.
You did that for me. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my name's Wes. I own Poppin' Off Toys. I've been a collector for a little over 6 years now. I started as a collector. I'm still a collector. I just kind of happened into doing this as a living as well.
That's awesome. Now, I know, Wes, one of the reasons why we wanted to have you on the show is that, with this reselling world that I'm a part of, is that we want to let people know if they happen to go to a yard sale or a thrift store or anything like that, what to look for in a Funko Pop, because not all Funko Pops are built the same. Some of them are worth extraordinary amount of money, and some of them are just common that they're not worth their weight in plastic, I guess. Right.
Right.
So that's the reason why we wanted to have you on. So when you're at the thrift store, when you're at the yard sale, you know which ones to find. And that's why we wanted to have you on, Wes. So tell us a little bit about the history of Poppin' Off Toys. I know that you mentioned that you were doing other things, and then I know your story, because of your first Funko Pop and all that stuff. But for the people that may not know the story, because I think it's amazing, tell us. Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah, man. So 6 years ago on my birthday, a buddy of mine brought me a gift, and he knew one of my favorite shows was Breaking Bad, and so he brought me a Funko Pop of Walter White in his underwear. My son was at 3 at the time. And so we ripped open the box to get to the figure because, we wanted the figure. And I was like, this is cool. What in the world is this? Oh, it's Walter White. That's awesome. Put it down. A couple days later, I was like, man, I wonder if they make other characters from the show. So I looked it up, and yes, they do make other characters from the show. Started doing a little bit of research and whatnot, and found that these things are quite popular. And crazy enough, the next day I walked in the room and the Today Show was on. And one of the segments was, what could be worth a lot when your kids are adults? And one of the products was Funko Pops. And so that's really piqued my interest. Like, okay, what in the world could this be? So I started buying them. And this is true. They are a slippery slope. There's something about nostalgia and pop culture in a box that gets you. And I started buying, and started collecting every one I could get.
So once you started collecting the Funko Pops, I'm sure you had another form of a job or bringing in, your income. What made you transition into hey, I kind of want to do this for myself, open a brick and mortar store, open an online store, and go from there? Like what?
Yeah, absolutely. So I did have another job. I was working full time, and, I was at a nonprofit. So you don't really get rich from a nonprofit. So I was having to use other pops to fund the pops that I want. So I would walk into a Walgreens or another store, and I did my research, did a lot of time of learning what's hot, what's not. I would find one that's hot, and I would go and sell it online on eBay for, a little bit more. And so I didn't use that money to buy the pops I want. And so I did that for a while. And then I kind of noticed I was decently good at selling them. And I was on my eBay account. I had a wholesale company reach out and say, hey, have you ever thought about buying these wholesale? And I responded, said, no, but that sounds great. What do I need to do? And they explained, hey, you need a business tax license, whatnot. So I did that, and then I applied for an account with them, got an account with them, and started buying them wholesale, like 6 each. But with that, they only had comments. I couldn't go get the store exclusives or the old ones. So I was entering a brand new game of how in the world do you sell people commons. It's like selling, ice to an Eskimo. Like the commons are everywhere. How am I going to compete with GameStop? All these different places. So that's kind of when I ventured into that. And then eventually I said, why am I paying them more? Let me just start calling Funko every single day until they'll give me an account. And I started calling Funko over and over and over and over and over. Finally, got somebody on the phone. They sent me the paperwork. I applied, got approved, got assigned to a rep. And my first order with Funko ever was for 6 Jimmy McGill pops from Better Call Saul.
Awesome. And that's funny that your first one was Breaking Bad, and then this one's Better Call. Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
Wow.
So that's how I got started.
That's some determination right there, calling Funko every day to get that account.
Yeah, I mean, Funko was like, who are you? We don't need you.
Yeah.
And I had to present myself as this professional company when it was just me in my man cave and delivering these pops for $10. So like I would start, I had a spreadsheet. I would get in a little Funko Facebook group for Nashville. Mm-hmm. There was 9 people in it when I joined it. And I would say, hey, I have these pops coming. Who wants one? And they would say, I do. And I would put their name on a spreadsheet. And when that pop came in, I would deliver it to their house for $10 cash. I mean, I was
That's crazy.
hustling at the very, very core level.
That's amazing. Wow. That's great. So you're over here in your man cave. You probably ran out of space, moved to your garage or whatever.
Yep.
What made you want to open a physical store? Or did the online store come before the physical store?
Yes. So I did it in my man cave and then moved it in my garage. I got lucky and made some good partnerships with some Facebook groups. I became a sponsor of a Facebook group that at the time had about 40,000 members.
Wow.
And it was growing crazy. And so I was one of a few stores that could post my link. So eventually I created a website. I would take the next small step. I didn't say, hey, I want to make this a business. Let me go get a huge loan. I would take the next small step, and probably a little too slow at times. But then again, I had a full-time job. This was only at nights and the weekends for me. And I had kids as well and a family. So, I would take the next small step, and I just started, building a kind of a known relationship with people. My key that I put on every sentence was shipped mint to your door. I quickly realized if I was going to separate myself from GameStop, Walmart, Amazon, Hot Topic, and be a competitor of them, I have to do something that they don't do. And for me, that was caring about how your item is shipped. If I can get it shipped mint to your door, you're going to pay me a little more because you're going to understand that this collectible figure is going to get here on time, and not on time, but it's going to get there in the right condition that you want. So that's how I set myself apart. And then from there, just started creating new ways to sell these things. I was the first to do a chase guaranteed bundle, where if there was a chase involved, I'll get it to you for, guaranteed you're going to get it inside your bundle. There's no chasing involved. And so little things like that of differentiating yourself from the big boys, but also that one thing that people care about that they didn't really care about.
Yeah. And I know one of the things that you do, which I love, is you, I don't know what you call it, but you just recently had one where you had a bunch of Star Wars ones, and then there was like a grail that you could mystery possibly sales. Get. So,
mystery sales, mystery boxes. And, with kids and adults now, these things are huge. Like getting something and possibly getting something huge, but most likely getting something normal it's a fun game. And so what we do is when we get new collections or whatnot, I'll say, let's do a mystery sale. And so we'll get a pop that's worth $250, $300. I've actually done a mystery sale for a flock Chewbacca, which is worth about $2,200. So someone got that flock Chewbacca for $19.99.
Let's go.
But 199 other people got a common pop. So you're getting something for your money, but you're going to overpay most likely for the common pop you're going to get, but somebody's going to vastly underpay for the big mega grail.
Yeah. And I'm cool with that for sure. I mean, we were just talking earlier before we got on live. I wouldn't mind doing a mystery sale for a CM Punk Funko Pop and then possibly getting, I wouldn't mind getting a common wrestling one if I had a chance to get the grail. Yeah,
I mean, it is all a risk. We're very upfront about the odds. I mean, it says the odds are not in your favor.
Yeah.
Like this is a risk. You have to be, because I mean, every time we get the message, I got a pop valued at $9. I'm like, well, congrats. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
should have read. Like, we're very open and honest. So yeah, that's a whole nother side of the game that, you know,
for
you've got to
sure.
be
But
careful with.
I think that's great, and that I feel like that does separate you from the what would you say, the competition of
Yeah.
other people. Let me ask you this question: when you opened up your store, like, what did your? I know that you said you took baby steps to get where you are now.
Yeah.
But the conversations that you had with, let's say, your significant other and your kids, and like, okay, this is what I want to do. They were like kind of a little scared, or you
Yeah.
know,
Oh, absolutely. So I'd gotten to a point where the whole garage was overtaken, and then I had a couple other storage units as well.
wow,
And I told my wife, like, we've got to make a decision. Either I'm going to have to scale this back to continue excel and get my other job, or I'm going to have to quit and let's go for it. And we decided to quit and go for it. And the day that I told my company that I was leaving, we found out we were pregnant with our third kid.
wow,
We
wow,
cried, not out of joy, out of holy, we
yeah,
are screwed. Because like my wife, you know, was able to stay at home. We have young kids, stay at home with the kids.
Mhm.
I bring in what we can bring in, and suddenly we're saying goodbye to health insurance and everything, and we're
Mhm.
going for this dream of ours. But we did it, and we just kept going and going and going. And so once my wife saw that this was bringing, you know, we're able to live off this, she's excited. She's all
Yeah.
in. She helps out as much as she possibly can. She makes our shirts for us and whatnot.
That's awesome.
So yeah, at that point, we did it out of my garage, online only, for 4 years. And then at that point, because of COVID and everything else, we actually had our biggest year ever last year because of COVID. Guilt about that, but I understand why people are collecting.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
Yeah.
Prices for retail stores kind of dipped a little bit. And I found a place, and I talked to my wife, and we said, if we're going to take another step, this is it. And so we did. So the retail store exists so we can better ship the online store.
That's
so
great.
The online store is
Yeah.
still the focus. I mean, I think we did the math. I think it's dipped now. I mean, 75% of our business is online, but now 25% is retail. So the retail store is awesome. We love it. We're, you know, focusing as much as we can on that. But the online store is where we have existed for 6 years, five years actually, and where, you know, the bulk of what we're able to do comes from.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it helps build that community with people coming in. They may not buy anything, but they come in, they talk, you know, with like-minded individuals, and you make a report. You know, it's just like a community. So I'm sure that helps a ton.
It is. It's the best community I've ever experienced, actually. It's the Funko community. I mean, of course, there's highs and lows, but the people in it, by and large, are just amazing people who just love to collect and help and see joy. And it's just, yeah, it's great.
That's awesome. So I know this kind of transitions to the next thing that we're talking about, is that we're lucky enough that you reached out to us wanting to do kind of a collab sponsorship deal.
Yeah.
So I'll bring up the website here, but poppinofftoys.com. It's awesome. So if you use the code Nashville Flipper, you get 10% off your order.
Let's go.
So if you guys want to order Funko Pops, go to Poppin' Off Toys, and they got, I mean, you guys got everything on here. You even do pre-orders.
Yep.
You got some grails on here. And like you said, which I think is awesome. Even before I knew you, I knew of this website, and I said, this is great because they know what they're doing. Like you said before, they package the items that are going to be mint condition when they come to your door. So I thought that was great. So Poppin' Off Toys is a sponsor of ours, guys. So if you want to buy some Funko Pops, go to poppinofftoys.com, use the code Nashville Flipper, and you get 10% off, which I think is incredible. So Wes, this brings us to our next segment on the show. This is a lot of people's favorite segment on the show.
Okay. It's
called Overrated, Underrated, where I give you 10 topics and you give me, in your opinion, if they're overrated and underrated. 5 of them are, in this case, Funko related, and 5 of them may not be Funko related. Okay. So first one on here, Wes, overrated, underrated, in your opinion, Disney vacations.
Okay. Is it one word answer? Because let me explain my answer over this one.
You can you could take the whole hour, 2 hours.
So for my current season of life, it's overrated. We went not last year, year before last, whenever the last normal year was. And it was cool, but we had a baby. We had like an 8-9 month old with us. And so we couldn't do jack. We couldn't even ride a roller coaster together. Like 2 of them would have to stay and 2 of us would go and we'd swap. So we were like, we're not doing this again until everybody can walk, talk, and ride roller coasters. So current season, overrated. 4 years from now, underrated. Let's go.
Okay, nice. I've never been to Disney World or Disneyland, but to me, waiting in the lines and the heat, like it just seems like a lot. I'd rather go to like an all-inclusive resort and just chill. So for me, I think it's a little overrated as well. But next topic, Wes, overrated, underrated, ad icon Funko Pops.
I would say they're overrated now. When they first started, and we had that was actually a really good one that just came out. I mean, really good.
I like this one. Yeah.
But you know what we got in from Funko yesterday? Kraft macaroni and cheese box. So they are digging now. We did the Lucky Charms, we did the Frosted Flakes, the Tony the Tiger, the Grails. Like we did that, and so now we're digging. So right now I would say it's a little overrated. The early pieces still underrated. They're great, amazing pieces that Count Chocula. There's some pieces in there that's worth $2,000. So yes, the ad icons are great, but at some point you're going to run out of really cool brands. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And I know that for some of you, we're tossing out some terms that you may not know. So we'll touch bases on those terms here. When we talk grails, commons, ad icon, like all that. You guys may not know what those terms are, but we will be touching on these terms here in a little bit. So overrated, underrated, Game of Thrones.
Oh man, you just put the knife in me. Okay. Season 1 through 5 or season 1 through 6. Underrated. Best television I've ever seen.
Okay.
Phenomenal. Season 7, 8 is the biggest pile of crap that we've ever had to experience. It was a travesty what those 2 writers did to the show. The Pops, woo, and then room. Now they've leveled out. Thankfully, they've leveled out, and they're going to start going back up because the further you get away from a tragedy, the less it hurts, the less you feel it. And so the Pops are going to start going up, especially when that new spinoff show comes out. They'll be fine. But it was, real quick story. For my personal collection, I love Game of Thrones. I bought a metallic Children of the Forest for $500. Now, I bought that so I could buy the rest of her collection to sell at a deep discount. But I wanted that piece. Well, a couple of weeks later, HBO found another 1,500 of them in their warehouse, put them on the website, value tanks, and then the show was terrible. That pop is worth $15 right now.
Oh,
I dropped that on it. So that's why it hurts a little bit, because it's a beloved show of mine, but it did me wrong in so many ways that this dude better finish these books now.
So they're still being written, right? The books?
Oh, man. We're on year 15 of him writing this next book. It has taken him 15 years, and he's like 78 years old. Like it's
poor guy.
It's not looking good for the real end of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
The problem was the directors and writers, they ran out of source material after season 6.
Okay.
So they did an interview like, what's going to happen? And he's like, well, I guess here. So he gave us some ideas, and they had to write it themselves. It was bad.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right. So overrated, underrated, Wes, buying Funko Pops on eBay.
I would say it can be underrated. Yeah, underrated. Okay. You got to be careful. Do not buy anything that comes from China. You mark on there, U.S. only. Do not buy anything from China. You can find some pretty good little scores on eBay. You just have to put the time and work into finding them. Us personally, we sell on eBay, but we sell pops that we have like an abundance of. Like if we get in, we still have 50 of these left we haven't sold. All right, cool. Let's make sure we get them up on eBay so we can open up that market to other people. But yeah, it's for the most part, it's underrated. You just got to make sure that the seller has higher ratings than 5, and that you're buying from US only and a few other little things. But it can be a really great source.
Okay, nice. Good call on that. Overrated, underrated, barbecue ribs.
Underrated. Come on.
Underrated, he said. Let's go.
Sign me up. That's what I'm having now for dinner. Thank you.
Oh, I had that for dinner yesterday, so that's why I made the list.
Let's go.
So, okay. So a lot of people don't know about this, and you can touch base on this here, Wes. Overrated, underrated, Funko soda.
Oh my gosh. You better get on this train now. You might be late, but
am I late?
So underrated. You might be late because the first ones that I initially ordered from Funko got in, they're now worth $500-$600, and I got them for $6.50 from Funko. So these things are really cool. Funko has worked for about a decade to find their number 2 line. What's their second line? They tried Dorbs, they tried 5-star, they tried all kinds of stuff. Nothing was sticking. They hit it with sodas. They're all limited edition numbers. They're extremely hard to get. When I find out that it's a Funko drop day, which means Funko is going to email their retail stores and say, hey, here's what's coming, order them. It is a highly stressful day to try to get these things on order.
Wow. Okay.
And we go nuts when our rep response is, I got them, Wes, because they sell out in 30 seconds. And this isn't customers on the Funko site order them. This is us, retailers, their wholesale customers ordering from them. That's how quick they sell out. And so it is a huge day whenever we get sodas on order and get to put them up on the website for pre-order. So underrated. Get out there and find these the first wave of sodas right now are literally the first wave of pops is kind of what I compare them to.
Okay.
We all wish we had those first wave of pops. Right now. And so if you can get the blueberry soda, even commons, don't even have to worry about, like, get the chase, awesome. But get the commons, because these things are going to do nothing but continue to go up, because the soda population right now is still pretty small. And these numbers of 8,000 and 10,000 each, I mean, just think how many more collectors are there out there, more than 10,000. It's dude, underrated by far.
Okay. For someone that may not know what they look like, could you kind of explain?
Yeah, we're going to grab one right now and show you. So it's a soda can. There's no soda in it, no liquid in it. But inside this can, so look, this is a sleeve stack. Actually, he gave me a good one.
That one's dope.
Yeah, 1,500 pieces total. And so you pop the top open, and inside of it is a bag, right? And then in the bag, there is the figure. Now, 1 out of every 6 is a chase. And so in every can, you're also going to get a pog. And it's going to have a picture of the character, and it's also going to tell you how many there are. You got one of 1,250. This is the common. There is a chase version of this. This thing's worth, I think, $800 right now. If I had the chase of this,
the chase.
Yeah, the common's worth around 100. And so whenever you open it, it's kind of cool, because whenever you open it, you've got the thing in there, and then you have a pog at the bottom. And like, this is the chase of Egon. It says, you found the chase. And there's 1,600 of this guy who is slimed. And then here's what the common looks like as well.
That's cool.
1 out of every 6 is a chase. And so it's kind of cool to open it up and either look and see what you got on the pog, or open the bag to see what you got. It's just a cool experience.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, is the pog like a stand too, or is it just something that?
Well, the one I showed you, there's people out there that make stands for these.
Okay.
So you can protect your pog. And so you can kind of, it comes with a little stand so you can display it and whatnot in a creative way.
Okay.
But yeah, no, normally it's just a regular pog that.
Okay, so sodas is the new. That's it. Sodas is the wave right there.
Sodas is yes. Right now, I would say that they're here for the long haul. They're definitely not going anywhere anytime soon.
Because I don't think I've ever seen one in the wild, like at Target or
Target doesn't get sodas. Thank goodness. I pray every day they don't start. Target doesn't get it. When Funko first offered sodas, they only offered them to small stores. They said, hey, here's our new product. You want to get in on this? And we were like, yes, let's go.
Okay.
And then once Big Box saw how much success we were having, they're like, we want some. So that cut in the numbers big time. Then it became a huge hassle to get these things. So as of right now, GameStop and Hot Topic and a few other ones get the sodas, but the big boys still have not gotten in the game.
Okay. What about what would you consider some of the soda grails right now?
So there is a Funko Freddy.
Yeah. Okay.
So Freddy Funko is Funko's little mascot guy. And so there's a lot of people who collect just Freddy Funko. And so there's a soda of him with the pizza shirt. I would say that is probably the grail of all grails of soda collectors. It goes for over 1,000 if you want to get that chase of it. For Disney collectors like Coco, Coco was a good one that was released at a con. It's still, it's not like crazy high, but it's probably one of the Disney ones that will never go down ever again. So yeah, Freddy Funko is the grail of all sodas right now.
Okay, nice. So guys, you heard them. You heard it here first. Get those sodas. So, all right. So next one on the list here, Wes, overrated, underrated, Zelda video games.
Oh man, I hope one of my employees doesn't hear this. I'm going to say overrated, but he would destroy me for saying that because they made an announcement, a couple of months ago about a new Zelda game and they were screaming, going nuts in here. And I was like, that's great, man, but I'm going to, I'll pass. So personally, overrated, but I know they're amazing for people and they very vastly underrated.
Nice. I know that, because of the reselling community, Goodwill shop.com just sold one sealed, the original Zelda game. I think it sold for like 30 grand.
I saw that.
Yeah. Something crazy, but I know they're getting, a lot of people are grading video games now, which we'll get into that here in a little bit too.
Yeah.
Overrated, underrated, Funko cereal.
Oh, overrated. It should never happen. It never happened again. Thankfully, they have not made any in quite a while. It tastes awful when it's good. I can't imagine what it tastes like when it's stale. Like when someone brings in a box in their cereal in their collection, you pick it up, it's a brick because it's just been sitting there. It's like, dude, I'm not taking that. I don't care what it's worth. And it's not worth anything, by the way. So overrated. I'm fine with them trying it. Didn't work. Let's move on.
Nice. So don't pick up any Funko cereal, guys. Overrated, underrated, The Office.
Oh, one of the greatest shows of all time. Underrated. Love it. Quote it constantly. The Office was the mega, please do The Office of all collectors. When they got The Office, it was unreal. We were all so excited. But they've done quite a few Office pops and it's gotten a little overwhelming for people. I even collect them and I've had to say, okay, I'm just going to get my favorite characters. I don't need 36 Dwights. And so, but Funko's a business and they're going to make stuff that sells. So I don't blame them. But as a collector and a lover, we got to chill out on the pops a little bit. But as a series, underrated. Can't get enough.
See, for me, when they started making the Seinfeld pops, I was like, yes, finally. And they were doing the Jerry's apartment.
Mini
set. I'm like, I need one of the, I need that right there.
Cool, man. They just announced the Office mini moments last week. And make The Office. And I am so excited for it because I collect The Office, I collect Harry Potter, and I collect all the Pixar and WWE. So I'm really excited about these mini moments. They're really kind of cool and they're cheap too. They're cheaper than a pop.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. There's a question on here for you, Wes. It says, Wes, which Sonic the Hedgehog character should Funko make as a soda next?
Oh my gosh. That's a great question from Jason Telford. Okay.
Yes.
So we're I'll go with Tails, man. Tails is
dope.
It's going to be in this new movie that's being made right now. And so hey, bring me all the Sonic sodas you can make. Bring me all the Sonic pops. I've bought some Sonic pops in the past and have them. And one of my son's best friends in the world is a huge Sonic dude. I mean, Sonic crazy his entire life. So we made sure we got them. I gave him one of the pops. Things were $500 now. And I'm like, I go over to the house. I'm like, he's 9. I'm like, hey, Drew, you still using that pop there? So no, it's great. So yes, Sonic is hot, man. Give me all the Sonic you can give me.
That's awesome. Yeah, the movie was great. I enjoyed the movie, and I can't wait for the next
so
one.
good. And
Yeah.
the fact that they listened to the community.
Oh, for sure.
That meant the world to all of us. And so
Yeah.
we're going to enjoy it more because we're already happy you listen. So
Yeah. All right. So last one on the list here, Wes, for overrated, underrated, 10-inch or larger Funko Pops.
I'm going to have to say overrated. And the reason why is the biggest and only downside of this hobby is these things take up space.
So much space.
And you can get out of space, out of control really quickly. So when you make a 10-inch version, you're killing my customers. Like, yo, I need them to have longevity in this game. Let's don't take up 10 of these spots for one pop. So they're cool. Some of them make sense. Some of them don't make sense. The 18 inches, I think, are cool, and they're doing it the right way. They're only released like 4 of them, and it's been over a period of 3 years, so I'm okay with that. But the 10 inches, they're impossible to ship for me because you can't keep the boxes mint.
They like break.
They're so hard.
My Thanos one is the head even fell off because it was too heavy. It was
So there's some design flaws, which I think they've worked out a little bit of that, but it's just they're overrated. Just from the mere fact that they suck up too much space.
Which is the biggest? Is it the Batman or the Pikachu? The biggest ones that they've made?
Well, they're yes and yes. They're both the 18-inch version. So there's a Harry Potter, Batman, and a Pikachu 18-inch version. And I mean, they're $100 each. I mean, they cost us about $75 because they're just so tough. What up, D Sparks? All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that overrated.
Okay. Nice. So that concludes our segment of the show, overrated, underrated. Thank you so much, Wes. So I know this isn't on our itinerary here, Wes, but we've touched on some certain terms for Funkos. Could you tell us really quick what some of these, we were talking about commons, chases, you know, what common terms that people may, that are hearing this for the first time, they're like, I don't know any of this. I don't know this funkanese that these people are talking about over here.
Absolutely. We'll start with the basics. Common is a common pop that is available at any store that sells Funko Pops. I mean, right here we've got a Martin and Eddie Frazier pop. This pop you can find at Poppin' Off Toys. You can find it at Target, Walmart, all these different places. That is a common pop. Its value is $9.99. Now, if it's going to gain value, it's going to take Funko vaulting it, which means they're not making it any longer. And it's going to take more Frazier fans to come into the community and want this pop. And so that's how a common can gain value. Is over time, they don't make it, and more collectors come into the community demanding it. There's also a stickered pops, which this one right here is a limited edition 2021 spring convention pop, which means in the spring, there's a convention called ECCC, Emerald City Comic Convention. Funko releases pops for it. And so they're limited. They only make one run of them. They release them for this convention. You can grab it. That's probably a great one. Great ones to get and hold because right now the value is, but it will go up especially if it's a popular line like Transformers. Man, every one of us middle-aged men was Transformers fans as a kid. And so we're all in, now. Chase Pops. This isn't actually a real one. This is a custom of myself, but we put a Chase sticker on it. So Chase Pops, where Funko will send us one out of every 6 of a common pop. So in this case, it was Vision, will come with a Chase sticker on it. So when we get the box, we open it up. There's 6 pops in it. One of them will have the Chase sticker on it. That's why it has more value. You're supposed to chase it, right? And so that's, it is. It's fun going hunting and whatnot. But I kind of took the hunt out of it and said, yo, you order from us. You're guaranteed to get one of these. We're going to put it in the box for you. You ain't chasing Jack. But that's kind of what a chase is. The term grail, that's really kind of whatever is the grail, the one you want the most for you. It does not have to be the most expensive pop. It's just the one you're after. This is my grail. This is one I would do whatever I need to. For me, this was one of my grails. This is the this is the Hulk Hogan yellowed shirt WWE event exclusive pop. I think this thing's over $1,000 now.
That's awesome.
And then, of course, the pink shorts Macho Man.
Yeah, let's go.
WrestleMania 3, coming off the top rope. I know he took the L, but it was one of the greatest matches that you'll ever see. And I think I was like 6 years old. I loved it. It was amazing. So that was my grills, like Flocked Lotso from Toy Story. It's just a pop that you want. Most of the time, yes, it has value and whatnot, but it can be a common pop. If that pop means the world to you and that's something that you want, it can be your grail. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, the grails are only ones worth this much money. It can be whatever you want. Recent releases, Parks and Rec, Hunter Ron. This is the common version of Hunter Ron. Here's the chase version of Hunter Ron. It's when he gets shot in the head in that classic episode. So those are some of the quick terms that we kind of use here in the Funko community.
Now, chases, I know in the past they were kind of like just different color variants, but now they're almost like new molds.
Man, Funko's doing this thing where it's a completely different box now. And
wow. Okay.
That's great, but it kills me because used to in the past, when a box came and it was damaged, I'd just replace the box, peel the sticker up, put it on a new box. We're good to go. But now the chase is damaged. I have to try to fight them for some replacement boxes. But yeah, they're getting better. One of the biggest gripes from the Funko community is lazy chases, where the chase would be a different colored shirt. Like Jake the Snake, the chase.
I have Jake the Snake.
Damien's a different color, which, okay, that's fine. But, yo, give me something a little more, you know, than that. But, yeah.
Yeah, I actually have it's actually, let me grab it right quick. It was within arm's length, signed by Jake the Snake.
I love it.
Yeah. So like you said, and I have the regular one, and like you said, the snake is a lighter green. Right.
It's just, it doesn't make sense sometimes, but, you know, it's just kind of is what it is. You know, and also have the greatest faction that ever.
That one's.
Well, quick, true story. I was running my business out of my home, saw someone on eBay selling like a couple of these. So I reached out. I was like, dude, you're in Nashville. How many do you have? He's like, I have 120 of them. I was like, what?
No way.
Can I buy all of them?
Hollywood Hogan?
Yeah. He's like, yes, please buy them all. I'm not set up to do this. My wife's killing me. She wants them out. We met. I bought all 120 of them. So suddenly I had 120 Hollywood Hogans. It was worth about $60 to them. This was a few years ago.
Yeah.
I get a message from Ron Howard from Hogan's Beach Body Shop. They want to buy 60 of them. And so I get on the phone with them. But, hey, man, I know you're going to have Hogan sign it and sell it for whatever. So I need you to pay close. So let me talk to the man. And so he came back and was like, all right, we're in for 60. So I sold 60 of these to Hollywood Hogan himself.
He should at least sign one. And
I know. Everyone, that is the first thing everyone says. Like, did you not get one signed in the deal? And it's just not my personality. Like, I feel so bad asking someone for like an autograph. But you're right. I should have.
Yeah. Because they're I mean, like we were talking before, I have a Ric Flair one that I want to get signed.
Yep.
And he's signing autographs in October, but it's like he wants $100 for an autograph.
Oof.
But it's like, I know, and then you don't even get a picture. It's like $100. And then another $100 for a picture. But I'm like, he probably has another 4 years.
Right.
So I'm like, if I got to get it, this is the time,
It's the time.
So I might have to eat the $100 and go get it signed. But so we talked about, Wes, for someone that may be out in the wild, what are they looking for in these Funko Pops? Like, what's something to I know that you kind of spoke on the sodas, the good sodas to look for. But if I'm at a yard sale or garage sale, if I'm at Goodwill, certain things that I need to look for if I want to make some money. Maybe I want a Hollywood Hogan Funko Pop, and then I got to find, all these other Funko Pops, resell them and get the good one. What's something good to look for when looking for Funko Pops?
Yeah. So the basic simple answer, and there's obviously exclusions and exceptions that apply, is there's 3 rules that I have. Is it from a very popular line? So is it a Disney Pop? Is it a Marvel? Is it a Batman? Is there a sticker on it? And if not, is the number kind of lower? So right now you'll see 714 Marvel Pops when they made this one. So if you come across a Marvel Pop and the number is like 8 or 9, that tells you like there's a possibility this thing could be worth something. Now, the more you get into this, the more you know. I can look at any pop and know pretty much exactly how much it's going to be worth. But there is a cheat sheet on your phone. You can download an app called HobbyDB, and it's a scanner. And you can literally scan the barcode, and it's going to bring up what it's worth. And so I have many times stood at a store and just, this is before the scanner, looked it up. And so that kind of helps new people especially know what they're looking for and what value they can get. But if you just keep it simple, kind of keep it simple, is it from a very popular line? Is it stickered? And if not, does it have a low number? And then the third one is it from is it a popular character? Like, if it's Marvel, like, the back screen actor of, Thor, the Dark World, it might not be much, but if it's Thor with a sticker on it and a Marvel line, like that can kind of indicate to you, like there might be something there.
Okay. That's good to know. And you tell me again the name of the app.
Yeah, it's called, it's really called poppriceguy.com. If you need something really easy to remember. A company called HobbyDB has since bought it, and they released an app which just a scanner, and you can scan barcodes. HobbyDB.com, and it's really good. We use that price all of ours in the store. Someone walks in and they're like, "How much is this?" We'll scan it real quick, and we'll tell them kind of what the price is. So that's the easiest way, and it's an algorithm based on 30, 60, 90-day eBay sales. So
that's great.
Very important. eBay is very important in the pop game. 30, 60, 90-day eBay sales, an algorithm based on all that.
Oh, that's nice. That's good to know for sure. So, Wes, I wanted to ask you this question because I've get this a lot about, because I collect Funko Pops. Of course, you collect Funko Pops. Yep. People say, "Hey, man, you don't need to be collecting these Funko Pops because
you're gonna say the BB word, aren't you?
These are the new Beanie Babies." So I know what I think about it. Yep. I want to know your thoughts.
Yep. I don't fault them for having that question. I had that question too when I first started. Here's the difference. Beanie Babies were a sack of beans inside of a bear. What the heck is that? This is nostalgia and pop culture. Name a time in history when Batman wasn't cool. There's just no time. Saved by the Bell, to me and you, represents some of the best times of our 7th and 8th and 9th grade years. So pop culture and nostalgia combined with just seeing one of your favorite characters inside of a box. I can't tell you what seeing that does for me as a human. It just sparks up some amazing memories for me. And so when you combine all that together, these things are not really going anywhere. Could it be another line replaces the popularity of Pops? Absolutely. But there's not going to be this huge bust where every one of them becomes just worthless, because there will never be a time in history when Batman doesn't have someone who loves him. It's just not going to happen. So, and if we really look at it, Ty, the company that makes Beanie Babies, is still a very, very successful company running to this day. So the reason why also that I think Funko is doing just fine is the popularity is doing this instead of this. If I walk into a crowded place and throw a rock, I think I can hit maybe 6 out of 10 that know what Funko is. True. When I started, I would have said 2 out of 10. And so there's still room for growth. We have people walk in the store every day and they're like, "What is this? What's it do?" And when they leave, they have 10 of them. I mean, I used to joke someone would come to my house to solicit me for something and they would leave with 5 Funko Pops, because it just sell themselves whenever you say, "Oh my gosh, this is Zach Morris. I got to have that." It's just something about it. So Beanie Baby question, legitimate question. I just don't see them going anywhere. Funko has been a company for almost 20 years. The Pop line has been existing for 8 on its own. So, I just don't see it. Will they, could there be ebbs and flows? Absolutely. But I don't think in 20 years we're going to say, "You remember what those things were? Oh, man, they were the craze." No, it's just not going to.
Okay. Yeah, and like you said, I know that just the nostalgia and then the different lines, it just hits so many people. Like, for example, I work in an office and one of my coworkers, she's, she's older, whatever. She could care less about plastic toys, but she's a
Right.
huge sports fan. She's had Titans season tickets since they've been the Titans, and
Wow.
she has every Titans Funko that's ever released. She has all the Nashville Predator one, the
Yeah.
Pecorino ones. Like, she wants them because they're a part of.
Yep.
She just likes them because she's a fan of the teams or whatever.
Yep. Funko's tagline is everybody's fan of something.
It's
And
true.
that is so true. Everybody is a fan of something. And so literally the Grinch could walk into my store and find something that he loves because everybody is a fan of something.
That's true. That's true. Alrighty. So, real quick, Wes, I know that you talked a little bit about the word vaulted.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit more of what that means?
Yeah, so the term vaulted just means Funko is not actively making that product anymore. So these things are made in Vietnam and China, and so their warehouses and production facilities can only make so many at a time. And so when Funko announces new ones, old ones have got to come out of the production cycle. And so vaulted just means, hey, the life cycle has happened. We've made as many of these as we're going to make, and it's gone. And they do not take anything out of the vault and make it again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And those are usually worth more because they don't exist anymore.
They're not. There's not new products of them coming. A great example, Vision Chase. This thing has got some value right now, but I know that Funko's not done making this. And I actually have more of these on order with Funko. So I'm going to get more of these in November, and I'm going to pay Funko $5.50 a piece for them. And so that means this price, this $70, $80 price right now, it's going to go down because there's more in the market. More people are going to be able to find them. I'm going to have them on my website for normal price. I'm not going to try to do that, and there's, all kinds of reasons why, but that I know that price is going to come back down. So I'm not going to pay someone $75, $80 for this because I have the knowledge that this thing's not vaulted and they are actively making more.
Okay. So that's good. That's good to know. So next question here, Wes, and I know this has been a huge topic in the sports card, Pokemon card, and now Funko Pops is graded. Grading, people are starting to grade their Funko Pops. Tell us a little bit about that. What are your thoughts? You're shaking your head. I don't know if you're on the bandwagon or
I don't like it. Overrated. Overrated. All right. Here's why. You know what? If the industry and people kind of gravitate towards it, I'll hop on board and I'll figure it out. But I just think it's kind of. There's just the word mint is such a tossed around word, and I have to use it as a company. But like, you can look at this pop, and your rating can be a 9.6, and mine could be a 4.5. Like, it's just so hard. And if it comes to a point in the Funko collecting community where, the price, so the price difference of this with one ding or 0 dings is not that much different. Like, especially an older pop, like box shelfware exists. It's going to happen. Damage is going to happen. And so like an older pop that's worth $300, if I'm reselling one, I'm going to sell it for like $295, $290 because, hey, yeah, it's a ding, but like, where are you going to go to get this? Walmart?
Exactly.
And so I hope it doesn't become a thing because it's just another layer that prevents us from getting you the product that you want. I understand why it exists in other collectibles and whatnot, but I just hope it just never comes to that in the Funko world. There is a company that's trying it. It doesn't seem to be going incredibly well. And the other thing is when you got it graded, that adds another 2-3 inches on each side of the box. And it's just like, what are you going to do with all that? Where are you going to put all that? So I'm hoping it does not become a thing. But I understand why people want it to.
Because of the value.
Yeah.
What are they grading? Are they grading the box, the condition of the box?
Yeah. They're grading because, I mean, got to keep in mind these things are made, in China for probably $2. Paint job. Every single Funko Pop's got errors on the paint job. The box sometimes off-centered. It's just they're grading. Obviously, the box condition, the corners crisp. When they folded the box together, did they fold the right seam? So all kinds of the sticker. Is it peeling up? So there's all kinds of things they can grade. But literally, if you went through the pop with a fine tooth comb, like you could find 50
Something.
things.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, why is this a 9.5 when this one's a 7.4? Like what? So it's just too many things to grade on a Funko Pop to do this.
Yeah. Okay. Now, we're coming to the end here, Wes, and I really appreciate your time. I know that you have a store to run, so I do appreciate you coming on. So we wanted to touch base on this for the people that are on. We actually have a giveaway coming up with Poppin' Off Toys. We're giving away this. Would you call it a grail for some people?
Absolutely. Yondu, when, spoiler alert, something happened to him in a movie. When that happened, this guy became extremely, extremely popular. And it's worth right now around $75 on, HobbyDB's poppriceguy.com. And so, yeah, it's a nice piece.
So stay tuned, guys, for our social media, and we will tell you how you can win this pop free of charge. Poppin' Off Toys will ship it to you mint
to your door,
and you don't have to pay the extra $10
right.
for Wes to hand deliver it to you. But Wes, I've been seeing these videos, and it literally just popped in my head of people sawing the heads off of Funkos and finding brains in them. Have you seen these videos?
Oh, I get tagged in them, send them all the time. They're all edited videos just to get views and whatnot, which is great. It's a strategy. There's nothing inside the heads of Funko Pops. Don't destroy your Pops. And because it might be a common right now, like I did. I had a common rock. I needed to saw the box in half to fit it somewhere, so I did. That thing's worth $100 now. Oh. So you never know. So don't saw the heads off your Funko Pops. There's nothing inside of them.
Well, there you have it, guys. There is nothing inside the head of the Funko Pop, so don't cut them off. Just real quick, Wes, what's some of your favorite Funko Pops?
So I collect all of Pixar. So my favorite pop of all time is my Flocked Lotso. Flocked means fuzzy, so the actual pop is fuzzy. So Toy Story, Monsters Inc., all that good stuff. So favorite pops, Lotso, Flocked Lotso, and then I showed you my other favorites, the Grail Hogan and the Grail Macho Man. So Pixar, WWE, and then my favorite TV shows and whatnot, and Harry Potter.
Fantastic. So Wes, anything else that you may want to tell the people to just kind of look out for, or just kind of if they want to get into Funkos or start collecting Funko sodas, or just anything that you might want to tell the audience here?
Yeah. So literally my biggest piece of advice for anyone starting collecting is focus. Focus. Find a line that you love and have fun with that line. Don't try to do it all. When you try to do it all, you're going to get overwhelmed, exhausted. Your money's going to be gone. And then you're going to quit and you're going to be angry about it.
Struggle.
Focus on what you want to collect and then join a community. We're on, social media with Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all of them, Poppin' Off Toys. Join us, ask us questions, find some people that like to collect what you like to collect, and hop in on the community. Like I said, this is the greatest community out there. People love to bring happiness to other people, and it's just so much fun. So focus your collection. Have fun. And so when Funko announces new lines that are coming, you're excited because you're not overwhelmed trying to get every single Marvel pop that's ever been made.
Oh, man. That's hard. Yeah, that's a struggle right there.
It is.
So, well, guys, if you guys want to go check out Wes and everything he has to offer with Poppin' Off Toys, the link tree is down in the description below. So check him out. It's got all of his socials on there. It's got his website on there. Go check it out. Poppin' Off Toys. Yep. Use the code Nashville Flippers and you'll get 10% off, guys.
Yep. So and I think y'all's code ends with an S and not a
Z. Is it okay? Nashville Flippers. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So use that code, guys, and you'll get 10% off. And Wes, thank you so much for coming on, man. This has been awesome. We definitely need to have you back on to get more into the weeds of certain things. This is only the tip of the iceberg, I feel, because there's so much information, that we probably talk for a good Joe Rogan podcast, 3 hours,
Oh man, we can get on it. We didn't even touch the whole, flipping and gout, all that stuff as well. Let's get into that next time.
Yeah, for sure. Next time for sure. So guys, thank you so much for coming on. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Nashville Flippers, and follow us on all our social media platforms. Follow Wes on all those social media platforms. And like always, guys, we'll catch you guys on the flip side. See y'all. Peace.